text messages that Jonathan Majors' attorney has released to the public are going to do more damage, in my opinion, than good. Because they're going to be interpreted by many people as a woman who has actually and was actually abused and is trying to protect him, which when you're in a relationship with a person and, things get heated, you have an altercation. Sometimes, after it's over, you go, yeah, I didn't mean for it to escalate to that point. Doesn't mean the person didn't do something. Doesn't mean the person isn't guilty. However, you don't want them to get in trouble. So you kind of retract, rescind, and change your statement, right? And that is what this is looking like. Honestly, I would say if the attorney wanted him to appear innocent, these text messages don't do that for most of us. They just don't, And of course, everybody is entitled to interpret them the way they see it. But let's look at some of what she said. So it's a text thread between her and Jonathan Majors. And so I'm just going to start with her. She says, please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight. That's problem number one. She is already asserting that they saw injuries. So she's affirming that she was injured. That's dumb. Like this, she's making a text to him and she's affirming that she had injuries and they saw it and there was a fight. Okay, so it doesn't say who started it or who initiated it. Just this statement here affirms that there was an altercation. That's a problem. Okay, that does not show his innocence. You have given us, or the jury or whoever's going to be reviewing this evidence, because now this is evidence, you've given us a statement that there were injuries and they had a fight. And she's texting it to him. So it's like she doesn't know that. I mean, of course, anybody knows that anything you text can end up being public. It can end up being in the hands of the law. But it's like she's talking to him as though they're having a one-on-one conversation. So it's not like we would assume that she's lying because she's talking directly to the person that she was involved in this situation with, this altercation. Then she says, I'm so angry that they did. I'm sorry you're in this position. We will make sure nothing happens about this. So now what you see is a person, again, a woman, man, could be anybody, but a person saying, wow, yeah, something did happen between us. And I didn't mean for it to escalate to this point. That's kind of what they're saying. Now, the interesting part to this is that it's being alleged that he actually called the police. And so people said, well, if he called the police, then that shows that he was not guilty. He hadn't done anything. Why would somebody call the police if they had done something? Well, you know what? Because that's called getting in front of the situation. Sometimes people can be in fights all the time, and they think that if they call the police, this is classic. They think by them calling the police first that, it shows that they're not guilty. It's the other person's fault. No. Doesn't matter who calls the police. When the police come, they will look at the situation and assess what's going on, and that will determine who gets arrested. So just because he called the police, if he did and not the woman, doesn't mean that he didn't do anything. That's stupid. People do that all the time. People unalive people and call the police and go, oh my God, I found my wife. Come on now, people. Let's use some common sense here. So that second statement, I'm so angry they did this. I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. It sounds like it's just her saying, didn't mean for it to escalate to this point. Sorry that you got arrested. Yeah, we were having a dispute, but didn't mean for it to go this far. That's what that sounds like to me. A person, not that she wasn't smacked or whatever happened, but just, man, didn't mean for it to go this far. I still love you. We were mad yesterday, but okay. That's what that sounds like to me. And honestly, I've had girlfriends in situations with altercations with their boyfriends where they may have called the police, and then when the police get there, oh, no, he didn't do anything. Come on now, classic. The next statement, I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. Okay, what you said was you tried to grab his phone. So she's trying to now take the blame and say that she is the reason that the altercation started. Let me say this. Again, it still does not make him look innocent. You tried to snatch this man's phone and he knocked the ish out of you. And I'm not saying that's what he did, but I'm just saying it's almost, that's the picture you're painting for me. You're saying, oh, I told him it was my fault because I tried to snatch your phone, and then you knocked the holy, it's like, come on now. You're telling him, I'm trying to take the fault and say that you hit me because I tried to grab your phone. No, that's not, I would not say that's equal force. If the woman tried to grab your phone, you grab it back, or she didn't get it, or you keep her at bay. Now, we just saw a film where you're this big brawn guy, in Creed 3. You mean tell me you don't have enough strength in you to keep this woman at bay from taking your phone? So her saying that I told him it's my fault for trying to grab your phone, his reaction to that, if he did hit her, it should not have equated to any kind of violence or physical attack where she's bruised or damaged or anything like that, any visible scarring where the police could see, to me. Okay, so now I'm looking at 3 strikes already in just this little text. Like, attorney, are you an attorney for me, or do you want me to go to jail, Miss Attorney? Because what you are releasing to the public is not making me look innocent. Okay, she says, I only just got out of the hospital. Oh, well, damn. I didn't know the woman had gone to the hospital. I thought the police came, saw some injuries, and that was the end of it. Now you're telling us you got out of the hospital? I mean, you didn't say I went to the clinic. You didn't say I had an office visit. You're saying you were in the whole mother effing hospital. That, again, does not look good, Mr. Jonathan Majors and attorney and legal team. Where's your Olivia Poe? Come on. A 5th grader would know this ish is looking sketchy and not good for you. I just got out of the hospital. The hospitals are for people that are injured, ill, sick, dang near dying, and you just got out of the hospital and he didn't do nothing. Problematic. Come on, common sense. This is not looking good, Jonathan. Just call me when you're out. Okay, well, that's typical because, clearly they're in a relationship. People get angry, have an altercation, but the emotions and the, relationship are still there. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of over the anger. Call me. I still care about you. That's classic. Again, does not mean that he didn't do anything. How many women are in abusive relationships, have physical injuries and still try to protect the man? Classic. What she's painting is a classic picture. Whether or not she is actually, a victim of all of this, this text message is almost classic. It paints the picture of a person who has, been abused. And then she ends it with, I love you. Exactly. So everything you said previously shows us that you're willing to cover up for him. You're willing to take back the fact that you said that he hit you or whatever you said because you love him, which means, translates, you don't want him to get in trouble, right? Yeah, because I love you. So I'm going to protect you. And it's because of me that you're in this situation. That's what she's saying. Although it's not. You're a man. You're a person. You have to use some restraints and self-control in situations. So not just her fault. It's 2 people. But you went a little bit too far, sir, if you put your hands on her. Her next statement. They just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack, and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. Heifer, they don't need your blessings now. First of all, he called, right? If it's true that he called the damn cops on himself. So they don't need your blessings. They came out, assessed the situation, and saw some bruising on you per their documentation, the police report or what we're hearing. So they don't have your blessing. It doesn't matter if they have your blessing. If this man is putting hands on women, and I'm not saying that he did, again, we're just going by these statements. Any person who is out there abusing anybody, be it male or female, we don't need you to bless whether or not we can arrest them. We don't want them out in the streets. Because we want people to understand clearly, keep your mother effing hands off of people. You don't get to just get mad and start bashing people or hitting people. No, you don't get to do that. Parents don't even get to do that. So they don't need your blessing. They don't need your blessing. We realize what you're trying to do, ma'am. You're trying to cover up and make excuses for him now, and you're trying to plead to him because, of course, he's mad. He's angry. If you tried to snatch his phone and he put hands on you, now he's pissed that he got arrested. So in his mind, you're the culprit. He won't be taking accountability because he's mad. So you're trying to beg and plead with him to let him know that, I don't want them to do this to you. And, I'm taking full responsibility for this girl. Too late now. I read the paper they gave me about hands around the neck. And I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. Well, I don't know about that. If they put it in there and they saw something, then maybe they, that's their observation. That's what it appeared to be to them. I don't know how police write police reports, but okay. So she told them to take it out. I think once they make the police report, I don't know. And now you are even, whether they take it out or not, your attorney has released to the public these text messages that indicate there was possibly some hands around the neck in this altercation. So again, bad move on the attorney's part. She's just incriminating him more. Hey, it's right here. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about, and I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior out of care. She promised all this will be relayed. Now, okay, so she's even saying that he called and that she passed out. This is even more alarming than I thought, because I hadn't heard this part before. If you're talking about hands around the neck and then somebody passed out, do you know people die from that? I can't even find a better way to say it, YouTube. People literally die. Now you're telling us that he was there when you passed out due to whatever communication issues and things that were going on between the two of you. This looks damning, sir. Miss Attorney Lady, I would ask you to be removed off my case, because you've pretty much laid clear evidence for the prosecuting team to really give me some charges. This does not look good for him. His attorney has pretty much released text messages that corroborate what the police saw, that there were some injuries, there was an altercation, and this woman was injured, and she ends up in the hospital, and she had passed out, and he was on the scene at the time. This is all bad. I'm sorry. Now, will this impact his career? Absolutely. We saw what happened with Michael B. Jordan when it was alleged that he didn't like black women and he only dated white. His career suffered. Ticket sales went down, right? And he had to work really hard to overcome the fact that black women were just not supporting him. He was a sex symbol for black women. His predominant fan base were black women, which suffered greatly. And so interesting thing is he was recently, Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors were recently doing an interview, and I showed that interview in a prior video that I did. And the interviewer was asking them which leading lady would they want to work with in the future, and Michael B. Jordan quickly jumped in and said, nope, that's a loaded question. Don't answer that. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm going to put the video clip here.
Yeah. All right. And just lastly, if you could pick your top 3 leading ladies for your next films, who would they be?
Top 3 leading ladies?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's entrapment. Definitely.
It's not
That's entrapment. Agents calling. Yeah, that's entrapment. We ain't falling for that one. Nope. You the second one to try it.
Why do you think it's a trap? Well, okay. Future for Creed 3. What are we looking at? Is it too soon to talk about the future?
No, we can talk about the future, man. I think talk about the future. Talk about the future.
Because he knows that anything that you say that can, come back to you in terms of race, women, your preference for women and things like that can hurt you. So he was like saying, nope, that's a loaded question. We're not going to answer it. And Jonathan Majors did not answer it. I guess he's like, well, hey, he has more experience in this, so let me just be quiet. So he didn't answer it. So if Michael B. Jordan knows how critical and how much of an impact a rumor that you don't like black women and you don't like your your fan base is not your preference, how it can damage your career, we damn well know how this is going to impact his career. Not only are you being accused of assault, I don't think his dating preference previously mattered. I knew that that he had a biracial kid, but I still liked him. It didn't matter to me. But now this is going to be a topic because it's going to be race related. There's a black man with the white woman that he has assaulted. It shouldn't matter, but these are all things that people are going to talk about. We're talking about the court of public opinion. So will his career be impacted? Absolutely. They've already started pulling ads. So, some of his projects have allegedly been stalled because people don't know if he was guilty or not. And that's fair, This is going to have a huge impact. He was becoming America's sweetheart for a moment, right? All of that has halted. I think that these text messages do not help him. I feel that his attorney did him a disservice. There's supposed to be a video that will show, that he's innocent. I wish they would release that, because maybe then that would counter this text messages or some of these things. I'm honestly neutral. What he did it or he didn't do it, I have no clue. But what is being presented and the way they're responding to this, his legal team, it to me, it looks like he's going to have an uphill battle, and that he did something. But I'm not one to rush to judgment because I wasn't there. But based on her responses in these text messages, to me, it sounds like Jonathan did something. And, yeah, maybe she did snatch his phone. Lady, you shouldn't be snatching phones. But damn, should you get smacked upside your head because of it? I don't think so. So anyway, jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Do you think that these text messages are going to prove his innocence, or are they going to hurt his case? Jump in the comments and let me know, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.